You're now live.
All right. Hi, everyone, again. So we've been designing jewelry design, pendant. And the other day, I think it was Monday, right? It was Monday when I was doing the designing.
Monday, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It was Monday. I was designing a few ideas on a paper. And then we decided that we're going to do one of them. I did the wax designing, and now I received this. We decided to do silver instead of gold. This one crystal design that we've been working on it. So right now I have the silver in my hand. I want to show you guys how we do the cleaning and to do all the detailed cleaning work, all the little filings and the sandpaper, everything, that kind of nature. And the fitting, the two flowers, it's going to fit in the back of this and the bail. So you guys are going to see pretty much today how I do the cleaning, how it's done. And I'm going to start, hopefully. If you guys have any questions, please write it on the wall so we can see it. I can show you guys what you like to see. So I'm gonna start, and you guys can start watching and see how I do it. So this is my saw blade. I'm gonna cut these extra pieces from here that comes from the casting. So what happens is these are, we call this sprues, and those are a little bit long sprues. They go on a flex, and when they shoot the hot melted silver, it goes from here and fills up where the wax used to be. So now I'm going to cut this off and then clean it off. Earlier I did fitting, so the fitting looks like this. The reason I did earlier, because this takes a while to do the fitting. So I did the fitting, everything looks great, it fits nicely. So now I want to start cleaning the pendant itself. So it takes little pull, it comes off there. So I'm going to cut this off. It's off, and I'm going to take this file and then start kind of making everything nice and straight. I just take my time in the beginning just to see the levels, if it varies too much. It looks pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and even it up. Everything. I'm holding my hand very steady, so you guys see the lines, how I've been hitting. It looks pretty good and clean. I'm gonna do the other side. I always take my time in the beginning. Alright, that's done too. So these are the wax where I was working. By the way, if you guys haven't seen the designing part and the wax, making wax part, we've been uploading them on the YouTube channel. You guys can go watch it there and kind of see how I did this wax designing and drawing everything. So that's where the wax used to be. And then I'm going to file it, make it nice and clean and sharp edges, so it looks all clean and nice. Okay, that's nice. Okay, I'm gonna While I'm hitting my file, I'm watching like here and the back side, so I don't hold my file any wrong way and hit the metal here or there, the front and the back side. So it's I've been watching everywhere that I'm hitting. Now that I know the angle, I can go a little faster, holding steady hand. Okay, it's pretty good now. You guys can see from here all the way to the end, it's one straight line of filing. And then I can take one of my smaller file, because this is much smaller space. The big file is too big for that. Okay, so I'm gonna file here, make sure this is all like even. If you guys see it like here and there, I've been touching, but like this part is lower. So I want to file and don't change much the angle, keep the angle going, but like making it even. There we go. This is like all like even, nice. And the width of everything looks pretty good. Same here. There we go. So I want to make sure the angle that I did this and this is the same. It has to look like the mirror effect, like the other side. Okay, it's pretty good. So I want to Alright, this is pretty good. I'm doing the same thing I did the other side. Okay, now it's here. Okay, this is good. Take the excess metal, make it even, nice, clean. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna do, sometimes it bites. You have to be ready to go with it because you don't want it to bend. That's good. So I'm going to filing everything down to perfection. At this point, this is what it takes. You have to make all the corners, angles evenly looking. This is going to be the inside of it, but then again, you know, you have to make it look all nice and even.
Well, that's what it takes for quality, right?
Yeah, it's just everything by hand. A lot of hand time.
Hand time.
Totally, like, you know, it's time consuming to make it look nice and perfect.
Yeah.
This looks pretty good. Maybe back here, just a little filing. There. You see, like right there, I want to like clean that a little bit. You know, just go in detail right now.
And that little part inside.
Mm-hmm. So let me use this small file here. What I'm trying to do is like make this line in here, make it as nice as the way that I could make it, like a nice beautiful corner cut. That's what I'm working on right now. I think with disc sandpaper I could easily clean that, so I don't want to eat any more than I have to. Everything looks good. I want to do some here, this angle. Like that. Just take anything that it's sticking out, anything that it's not even it as much as I can. Right there, and then let's do the front part. Right there. That's pretty good. I think I have back here. I'm going to remove this piece once I'm finished. I'm not removing because I don't want these two things just wobbling around, even very, very mildly. I think I want to still keep them for a little longer until I do my sandpaper, everything. Then I want to remove it. Then I can come back and like kind of do this part. Yeah, it's like one of the places that it shows a lot. Like here too, kind of shows. It has to be nice and straight. There, same here. Okay, we're kind of almost finished with this. I want to move on to the flowers. Clean those and then start kind of assembling. I have a little bit of fabrication to do, shaping the two flowers. But other than that, then we'll come back to this, do the sandpaper. So we can go these lines that you see where the file left behind. They need to be even much finer. So when we get to the polishing, it's easier to polish it takes less time, but we can put the time in doing the detail polishing instead of spending time removing those lines. So that's why we have to do sandpaper. Okay, so now these were the two flowers that goes like that together, and then I'm going to remove the sprues where we put the metal in, melted. I'm going to saw them off. There, that's one. This is two. So I'm gonna just like briefly file this. So what I want to do is I want to start by, I think, let me see, maybe this one would do it. I want to start by filing like in between and then kind of giving that separation right there and there. Okay, that's one. Oof. All right, it does a lot of that when you're doing a lot of filing. Even the small one does like the big one did earlier. It just bites through the metal and then it pulls it.
You've done the fitting already on that piece, right? So that means there was a lot more work done before we got to this stage?
Right. I think I said that, but I'm gonna say it again. Like, I did a lot of fitting before I start doing this video because the fitting takes a long time. It's a very, very, very sensitive stone. It easily gets scratched and break. So the way you do is like basically you kind of take the stone, you put it in, you don't push it a lot, and then you see where it's touching, and then you kind of like little bit file that part, and then slowly goes in, and then basically, I don't know, maybe like 30 times, 50 times, you just put it on, out, file a little bit, put it back on, out, and then you do it so many times so you don't really, so you don't overdo it. Like when you overdo it, the stone is going to start wobbling in there, and you're going to see a lot of open spaces between the stone and the metal, and that's not going to look good. So you have to put a lot of time doing that. That took me like almost hour and a half just to fit it in correctly, nicely, and it snug in there nicely, and I didn't scratch the stone or I didn't eat the metal too much. So that part I did it earlier, and because it would eat the whole time of making this video. So now I'm kind of finishing how the metal's getting all like filed and finished and sandpapers for you guys to see. So what I'm doing is like I'm taking this little file here, I'm putting it and going straight while I'm going up. I'm doing the motion of turn in like that, and then turn out, and make this round, nice round filing that I'm making like that. Okay, pretty much the inside's done, and let's see if this is good for doing this outside part, I can go faster with this one. There we go. Okay, that was good. That's it. So while I'm doing this, I'm still, in my mind, I'm still designing it and still forming the shapes and the end look, where I want this piece to look like, where I want to take it. That's it. It looks all nice and curved and exactly what I wanted. Now I'm going to leave it over there and then do this piece for a little bit. File this away like that. Take the small one, do the inside line. There we go. Continue doing, we're almost there. So what I'm doing is I'm showing you guys how to do detail work and how it's done. There are many other ways to do this also. This is not the only way to do this, but this is the best way to do detail work. So when you're doing detail work, this is how it looks. In the future, for other videos, I will share with you guys how I do other ways to do the same work. There's not only one way of doing the same work. But this is what it takes to do the detail work.
Awesome. Looks like we have our first viewer here.
Nice.
It's Kimchi 326.
It's Mrs. Kimchi. Alright, so here we go. We're almost done with this filing. After this, I have the bail to clean, and then I'm gonna move on to the sandpaper. I have a little bit of cutting to do still here, looks like. I need the plier for this.
Kimchi 326 says hello.
Say hi. Hi. All right, so I think we're getting there. I want to do this so it looks like slowly, gradually fading away the cut, not hard cuts. There we go. Here we are. This is pretty good. Now I want to file a little bit the top. Doesn't have to be 100%. I can fix it with some sandpaper afterwards. Let me clean my hand just a little bit. It's getting really dusty. Okay. So let's do some file, like take all the big dents and big cuts and everything, just make it all nice and even so the sandpaper could have easy time fixing it. There we go. See, like here I wanted to have more curve, so I like still designing it, still shaping it while I'm still, after doing the wax designing, still I'm like in the same mode as doing the design, the original design that I was designing. And it's a little more curve here. Yeah, so looks pretty good. So what I want to do is now, I think I want to, what do you think? The flowers, I want the flower leaves to slightly stand out. A little bit hugging the piece too much.
I agree.
It looks pretty cool.
Somehow be open and maybe we can add some cuts into each.
Cuts?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Into each petal, like shaping it.
Let me see. The inside of it, I definitely want this to be more open. Let me find one of my small hammers. And let me see. I'm gonna put this in here so it doesn't fly everywhere. And I want a hammer. I want the leaves to be like a little bit open. Let me see what happened. It's slightly better actually. I do like it. I think what I can do is, instead of doing that more, I wanna...
Was reflective joined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Welcome.
Was reflective. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
1, 2,
Please forgive me.
3, 4. I want to open them just a little bit. I think it's gonna look even nicer. They're too straight down. Not bad. I think we're getting there. There we go. Maybe this is the face. Yeah. And still designing, still shaping, forming this whole thing. Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Was reflective says to keep it up.
All right, let's do it. All right, I want to open just a little more. This is still, it needs some more work. There we go. I think this is gonna do it. Yep, looks so much nicer now. Now that it reaches the outside perimeters like that, very cool. And then with this one, it's a little bit narrower than that. Awesome. Very cool. All right, let's do the sandpaper. I think the rest of it, I can do it with my sandpaper and then clean it and fix it. I had this piece. You know what? Let me get this out of the way so I don't have to come back to this. When I start my sandpaper, I'm only doing sandpaper. Put a little bit of wax so it slides, it doesn't bite. There we go. Take the excess out where the screw was. And there we go. There. And there. Okay, this is all nice and clean, even. Looks nice. All right, let's do the sandpaper work now. So what I want is I want nice, clean outside edge, so I can go really close as possible, especially this inside edge that I want to do sandpaper. So what I do is take another one, like it. This is, we call this a disc sandpaper, and it has to be pretty new, and this is still new. I haven't used it a lot. So what I do is I want to eat even from outside, and then I want to take the excess hard paper. It's the sandpaper is being laid on this hard paper. So I want to make sure this is nice and even, nice edge, outside edge. Should be good now. So I would there you go. It's perfectly cleaned. All right, this is good. Okay. And good. It takes a lot to learn how to do this. You have to have such a steady eye and hand. You cannot hold this hair angle this way or that way or that way. It wants to dig into the metal, or it wants to eat the metal. You want to keep the corners, keep the edges, everything. That's why it takes a long time to learn how to do this.
So cool. We got NW Rockhounds.
All right. Welcome. There we go. Make sure this is all evenly done and looks good. Okay. And then taking all the hard edges, lines, everything out from the previously that I was using the file. So I'm taking little breaks here because the metal itself will start getting hot. It's okay, but cool it down a little bit. It's getting pretty hot. Almost done. This is where this whole thing is. If you guys see that little dot over there and that little line there, I'm trying to get to that. It's not deep, it's just shallow lines and things left. Because after this point it's going to be polishing point, and the polishing is going to be, I'm making this ready for polishing. Okay, pretty good. Come back and pass here one more time. All right, good. That's done. It's done. Let's do the outside. Nice, clean. That's nice and clean. While I'm doing this, I'm being very careful not to touch any other corners, any places that I don't need to file. There we go. This is all getting done. Clean. There we go. Clean, clean. As soon as I'm done with this sandpaper, I think I want to cut this off. I think it's going to be better to do polishing. Looks like the stone is a see-through, and then when I put it in, I could see the inside imperfections. So it looks like inside has to be nicely clean and polished. So when I finish this piece, put it together, it would look nice and clean, and there's no this like hard lines and everything from the previously when I was making this piece with the wax. Looks like that whole thing is showing now. Looks pretty good now. The outside of it all evened out and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this now. I don't need this anymore. I want to make sure I take my time after I finish cutting. This piece stays intact. Doesn't want them. I don't want it to wobble. Okay, one side through. The next side doesn't need a lot of work anymore. I did most of it. There we go. So right now I can remove this with this disco, the sandpaper, which is there we go. It's pretty good. Let's do this other side. Every time I do for a little while, one spot gets pretty hot. So now I want to do the inside filing because I want this to look nice and clean, polished inside. Okay, that side is good. Nice. Clean this extra. And let's do this side. Okay, that's pretty good. I need to really concentrate here because I don't want to eat anything extra that I don't need to. Then I'm going to create myself a lot more work, so I'm like really focused here. Let's see if everything's still intact, everything's good. There we go. Yep. Not bad. So if you guys haven't seen the previous video when we were designing this piece, what we were talking about is like we want to put pavé work up here and there's two sides. It's going to be a line of diamond and a diamond and a diamond. So I will be making video about that too. So I show you guys how it's made. But this is all nice and clean now. I want to really quickly clean some of this and get this video wrapped up for you guys. But it's going to take a little more time until I get to that point. So like I'm like doing the sandpaper. While I'm doing sandpaper, I'm like still forming, designing this piece. It goes many levels of forming and designing until we get to the last part where it's the polishing. There we go. Alright, cleaning here. See, like when you look at it, there is this cut and a cut. I want this to be like smooth, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm just like eating that, you see? That corner is gone. And then file it slightly down from there and give make this head look sharp, nice, how it's supposed to be. There we go. So each step has its own tool, its own way of shaping things, cleaning while you're shaping. So I don't do this when I'm doing with file because the file can't do this. And a lot of the sandpaper can't do what the filing is doing, or working on the wax can't do. So I know each step what it takes. There we go. It's nice and clean. That corner, take out, slide it down. Here we go. Almost done. There we go. Take those extra lines out, give the shape. Cool. Nice. All right, so it looks like this. Not bad. I want to see if, yeah, the rest I can't see it. It's inside. It looks very nice outside of it. So I'm gonna do about the same thing here real quick. And then I'm gonna show you guys how you're gonna make this even like thinner sandpaper, even more like curved. And I'm gonna get there in like a very short time. I just wanna do a little more work here. There we go. That's it. Okay, looks good. All right, so, oh, hold on a minute. There's a little, this thing here. We need to do a little work, and then I can move on to. There we go. Nice even sandpaper. It's gonna be easy to polish this piece. All right, that's done. So this is a circular soft sandpaper. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go over and then make this even finer sandpaper. This is pretty much the last step of doing the sandpaper and the filing part, where I'm getting it all nice and even, no hard lines, very soft sandpaper. It's gonna be pretty nice and easy polishing after this. That's that. Let's make this one. That looks pretty good, huh? Nice and clean. All right, it's coming up nice. The previous, all the filing and this sandpaper, designing, everything, we're almost finished now, winding down with that designing. Next step is gonna be nice polishing and assembly. I think we're not gonna have enough time to do the assembly today, but I'll probably make it like for Monday. Okay, so pretty good. stuff. I'll clean my hand. So this guy goes first. Like that. This guy goes second. So this is the piece. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Over there? All right. So this is where we're going to put pave and a pave and pave. And I'm not sure if I'm putting any diamonds, any stones on those leaves. I don't have any. I mean, you guys help me out if I should. And then what's going to happen is, like, I'm going to have to solder this piece from there, cut this excess out, and then put the bail right there, like that. And this would be pretty much the piece. But it's going to be a lot of polishing, a lot of some gold metal soldering, and I think pretty much I'm done for now. This is ready to do some polishing, pre-polishing, which is like I don't have to do over polishing. Once I do the last putting diamonds and fitting everything correct, we're done with everything, then we'll come back and do almost good polishing, and then we'll put this together, we'll assemble it, put the loop here, and then have this bail moving on top of in that loop. And pretty much when I see everything's done, the setting, diamond setting is correct, everything fits nicely, and we'll go ahead and do the last polishing, and then do the finishing. And I'll be making, I think I'm going to make video Monday, and I'll probably do pre-polish and then start doing the diamond setting. That's going to take a little while. We'll show you guys how it's done, the diamond setting, the pave work, and most likely next day after that we'll be finishing this piece, the polishing and the assembly, everything. We'll do everything pre-assembled, pre-polished, pre-everything, so we don't have to spend a lot of time. Normally this piece takes a lot of time making with hand, like each step is like 2, 3, 4 hours sometimes, depending what stage it's on. So yes, pretty much done. This is how you clean the metal, make it all nice and clean, shape it. While you're cleaning, you're still designing it somewhat. And I think I'm done for today. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed the YouTube channel, and make sure you hit the bell button so you get notifications from us when we do these videos. We'll be uploading this video on YouTube soon, and you guys can go see it again, how it's done, if you're interested. And I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Thank you.